What's up YouTube, Alvaro here. Welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. On this channel we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video, and as I do it Mondays through Thursdays, I want to make a quick stock market update, so I want to break down some technicals going over the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 as well, which happen to be the most important indices of the United States stock market. And at the end of the video, I will also break down from a technical standpoint 4 stocks that will be on the top of my watch list for tomorrow's trading session. So without further ado, let's get started. And when we still have 13 more minutes in today's trading session, we are having a green day all across the board. We find the Russell 2000 up 0.54%, Nasdaq up 0.81%, the Nasdaq 100 actually hit a new all-time high, and we will go over the Nasdaq 100 in just a second. S&P 500 up 0.61%, and the S&P 500 is also about to reach a new all-time high, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up as of now 0.33%. So we are having a beautiful green day all across the board. And when I am editing the video, and as I have been doing it, guys, I am going to leave on your screens the final close of the 4 major indices of the United States stock market. Remember, guys, that Jerome Powell is talking as of now to the subcommittee on the COVID-19 crisis. I have some screenshots over here. When I started recording the video, I think that Mr. Powell was still talking to this subcommittee. So he said that the Federal Reserve will act if inflation stays too high. Then he also said, let me see over here, that the Federal Reserve, this is very important, guys, that the Federal Reserve has a high level of confidence in prediction of transitory inflation. That is very, but very important for us. Then he also said that we are still pretty far away, or that we still have a long way to go on jobs recovery. That is also positive for the markets, because that pretty much implies that the Federal Reserve is not even thinking about tapering, even though, yeah, they said last week that they started to talk about tapering, but he's saying that we still have a long way to go on jobs when it comes to jobs recovery. So that I would say that we are not going to hear about tapering, I would say at least by mid of next year. And he also said that the Federal Reserve believes that we are going to see a strong job creation in the fall. So nothing to be worried about, Mr. Jerome Powell today. And there is nothing new that he actually said. And you know, the congressmen were asking him in a very insistent way over and over again, sorry guys, about inflation, and he was just answering them that according to the Federal Reserve, inflation is going to be transitory and it isn't going to get out of control. So far, so good when it comes to Mr. Jerome Powell talking to the subcommittee on the COVID-19 crisis. Now I want to show you guys a day trade that I took today on Bitcoin and that I called out yesterday in yesterday's video to the letter. And if you guys remember about yesterday's video, I told you, I broke down from a technical standpoint Bitcoin, and I told you if Bitcoin happens to break $30,000, which is a very important area of lower support for Bitcoin, it might find support at $29,000, and that's exactly what happened this morning in the case of Bitcoin. And I told you, and I showed you guys actually my long-term position on Bitcoin, in which I am down as of now. I have an unrealized loss of something like $2,000 because my average cost is at around $38,000. But I told you, I have been hedging against my long-term position by taking swing trades whenever Bitcoin drops below the average cost of my long-term position. So that's what I exactly did this morning. So take a look at this, guys. I opened this day trade when Bitcoin was trading at $29,679. So I purchased $4,000 of Bitcoin, and I ended up selling out of this Bitcoin position when Bitcoin was almost about to burst above $33,000, which from a technical standpoint, I knew that was going to act as a very strong level of resistance for Bitcoin. So I ended up investing $4,000 this morning, or I opened this trade with $4,000 this morning, and I ended up closing this day trade selling out of my Bitcoin position at $4,451. So I ended up making something like $450 with this day trade in a matter of something like, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. This was a very solid day trade. And once again, guys, I put my money where my mouth is, and I happened to be right when I said yesterday that I actually said, guys, in yesterday's video that Bitcoin was already very oversold, and that from a technical standpoint, I was expecting Bitcoin to find support, to find a very strong lower support at either $30,000 or $29,000, and I was in the ballpark because I was able to take this successful day trade on Bitcoin. And that goes to show that the technical analysis works when it is done the right way. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500. And as of now, this index the S&P is up 0.53% and it is trading at 42.46, and the bulls were almost about to reach a new all-time high in this index at 42.57. So the highest the bulls went up in today's trading session was 42.55. So we were 2 points away from reaching a new, there goes the market. So as I was saying, we were only 2 points away from reaching a new all-time high, 3 points away actually from reaching a new all-time high in the case of the S&P 500. So we have had a couple of phenomenal days in the S&P 500. So since yesterday open until today's close, guys, this index went up 1.79%. As I said before, a couple of phenomenal days from a bullish standpoint in the case of the S&P 500. So taking into account that we closed today's trading session at 42.46, then obviously, guys, tomorrow the most important area of resistance for the bulls in this index is going to be at 42.57, which is pretty much all-time high in the case of the S&P 500. And if we happen to see a pullback in this index, then watch out tomorrow for 42.32, 42.30 as the most important area or level from a support standpoint in the case of the S&P 500. Keep in mind that 42.33, 42.32 already acted as a lower support for the bulls in this index in 1 and 2 occasions before, but it also acted as a resistance in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 occasions before. And let me pull up real quick, guys, the 4 hour, because we have had a couple of phenomenal days in the S&P 500, and take a look at the RSI. The RSI is at 59 points. It is very healthy, taking into account that we have already seen the S&P 500 trading with the RSI being at pretty much 85 points. So definitely the bulls can keep on going up tomorrow, and I think that we are very likely to see a new all-time high tomorrow or on Thursday, the very latest, in my humble opinion. And in the case of the Nasdaq 100, let's see what happened in the case of this heavy tech index. And the Nasdaq 100 went up today 0.94%, and it closed today's trading session at 14,270 points, and this index actually reached today a new all-time high at 14,288 points. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I called out this move to the upside in yesterday's video, guys. I said in yesterday's video that I was very confident that the bulls of the Nasdaq 100 were going to take on all-time high in today's trading session, and that's exactly what happened. So I didn't check on the RSI on the 4 hour. It is at 72 points. It is a bit elevated. It is definitely a bit elevated. So maybe tomorrow we could see some sort of pullback in the Nasdaq 100, in which case I am going to be looking at probably as a level of support. I am going to be looking at 14,000, guys, which is a previous area of support that already acted as such in the Nasdaq 100 in 1 and 2 occasions before. And from a resistance standpoint, guys, we are pretty much in no man's land. So this index closed barely 18 points away. Yeah, it closed barely 18 points away from all-time high. So from a resistance standpoint, what are we looking at? 14,300 points, 14,400 points. Anything can happen here, but I think that the RSI is a bit elevated on the 4-hour, and we might see some sort of pullback in tomorrow's trading session. So watch out for the 14,000 points to provide a good support for the bulls in the Nasdaq 100. And now, and as I do it in every single one of my videos, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at AMC Entertainment, which pretty much has turned into an index of the United States stock market. So AMC went up today. This is pretty much live reaction, guys, because I didn't have time to prepare anything when it comes to AMC Entertainment. So this stock went up today 4.63%, and it closed slightly above a very important area of resistance for the bulls of this stock at $58. So the fact that we closed above or slightly above $58 is a very encouraging sign, guys, from a technical standpoint. Remember that $58 already acted as a resistance for AMC in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 occasions before. So I think, guys, and let's see how AMC manages to open tomorrow's trading session. But if the bulls happen to open tomorrow's trading session slightly above $58, that is going to be a clear sign from a technical standpoint that the bulls of this stock are gathering strength in order to pull up and pay a visit to the first important area of resistance for AMC, somewhere between $65 and $64 per share. And if that area of resistance happens to be broken to the upside, then, and I have been calling this, I have been calling out this move to the upside, guys, in my recent videos. Watch out for AMC Entertainment paying a visit to the $70, which is a previous area of resistance for AMC that already acted as such back on June 3rd. And if tomorrow, and in my case, guys, because you know that I own 61 shares, I'm sorry, I have a swing position on AMC with 50 shares at an average cost of $61. So if tomorrow I happen to see AMC pulling back and paying another visit to $52, which has turned into a very important area of lower support for AMC Entertainment, then tomorrow I am going to be very likely to pick up 50 more shares in order to average down the current swing position that I have opened on AMC Entertainment. And remember that $52 has already acted as a lower support for AMC in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 occasions before. And I said this in yesterday's video. So AMC has been trading at $52 or above $52 since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 trading sessions ago. So we are clearly consolidating slightly above an important area of previous support, and I think that we are going to see a massive move to the upside in the case of AMC Entertainment sooner rather than later. And the second stock of this video is going to be Sens. Sensonic went up today 7.74%, and it closed today's trading session at $3.48. And I really like, guys, the technical setup that I am looking at on the 4-hour chart. So $3.44 is a very important area of previous resistance for Sensonic that acted as such in 1, 2, and 3 occasions before. So, and taking into account that this stock closed today's trading session slightly above $3.44 or $3.40, then the next important area of resistance for this stock is going to be at around $3.60, which is an area that coincides with the 50 SMA on the 4-hour. And if we take a look at the relative strength index, guys, of this stock, it is at 50 points. That implies that Sensonics is neither oversold nor overbought. So I'm thinking, guys, that if tomorrow the bulls of this stock happen to be able to take on the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, they are going to have a fair chance of filling the gap up to the next important area of resistance for Sensonic at around $4.50. $4.50 is a previous area of resistance in which the bulls of this stock failed at in 1 and 2 occasions before. So let's say that I pick up some shares of Sensonics after the bulls took on this 50 SMA on the 4-hour. So let's say that I pick up 100 or 200 shares of Sensonics at $3.70, and if I happen to be able to ride those shares up to the next important area of resistance that I just told you guys about, somewhere between $4.50 and $4.60, I could be potentially locking in a profit of 18%. However, guys, another attractive scenario would be Sensonics pulling back and paying a visit to $3.08, which is a previous area of support that already acted as such for this stock in 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions before. So if tomorrow I happen to see Sensonics pulling back and paying a visit to this spot and finding a good support over there, that could also be an area in which I would be interested in picking up some shares of Sensonic. So from $3.08 up to the first important area of resistance for Sensonics at around $3.45, if Sensonics happens to pull back obviously down to $3, we're looking at an 11% profit. And if we are talking about a more ambitious price target, guys, let's say from $3 up to $4.50 or $4.60, we could be potentially locking in a profit of 32%. Nothing to sneeze at. So watch out tomorrow for Sensonics, guys, either bursting above this 50 SMA on the 4-hour at around $3.50, or maybe paying a visit down to the $3.08 or $3.05 per share. And now let's go ahead and take a look at good old Ideonomics, ticker symbol IDEX. Idex went down today 2.40%, and it closed today's trading session at $2.85. And you guys know that I am a long-term investor in Ideonomics. Obviously, this is a speculative long-term position for me, but I am bullish on this company. So here and there I am taking swing trades aside from my long-term position, and I am going to pull up here the 1-hour chart and take a look, guys. We have a good old head and shoulders formation potentially unfolding on the 1-hour chart. So we have the left shoulder, we have the head, and we have also the right shoulder rather, guys. And for those who are not familiar with a head and shoulders formation, so this is pretty much a technical pattern that suggests that a massive move to the upside is about to unfold. So if this head and shoulders pattern happens to unfold, as I just said, so let me pull up here the 4-hour, I think that Idex could pay a visit to the $2.50, which is an area that already acted as a support for Idex in 1, 2, and 3 occasions before, but it also acted acted as a resistance for this stock back on January 4th. So I'm thinking, guys, that if tomorrow or in the upcoming days I happen to see Idex completing this head and shoulders formation and effectively paying a visit to the $2.50, that is going to be a spot in which I am going to be tempted to pick up probably 500 or 1,000 shares of Idex, because this is pretty much a penny stock. And if so, if I happen to start, or if I happen to take this trade, in that case my price target is going to be the next very important area of resistance for Idex at $3.11, in which case I could be potentially locking in a profit of 20%. So $3.15, $3.10 is a previous area of resistance that already acted as such for Idex in 1, 2, and 3 occasions before, but it also acted as a support for this stock back on March 11th, and it also did it back on January 22nd. So watch out for Idex, guys. Let's see if this head and shoulders patterns happens to be completed, and I really think that regardless of the intention that we could have in regard to Idex, $2.50 is a very attractive price in order to pick up shares of Idex for the long term, to take a swing trade, or even to take a day trade. So watch out for Ideonomics tomorrow or in the upcoming days. And the last stock of this video is going to be Plug Power. And for those who are not familiar with Plug Power, this is pretty much a company that manufactures hydrogen fuel systems for heavy duty trucks. And this company reported earnings today, and they did EPS of negative 12 cents versus negative 8 cents estimated, so they missed on EPS. Revenue came in at $72 million versus $66.6 million estimated, so they beat on revenue, and the company reported a 76% year-over-year increase in revenue, so the markets liked what Plug Power reported, and because of that this stock went up today almost 14%, and it closed today's trading session at $34. So take a look at the RSI, guys, on the 4-hour, because this stock pretty much went on a tear today. So we find the relative strength index on the 4-hour at 77 points, very elevated, and Plug Power is right below a very important area of resistance for this stock at around $35. $35 already acted as a resistance for Plug back on June 7th, and it also did it back on December 23rd and December 24th. So I'm thinking, guys, I don't think it could happen. I could be mistaken, obviously, but since the RSI is so high, I don't think that the bulls of Plug Power are going to take on such a strong resistance, as I just said, with the RSI being so high. So I'm thinking, guys, that if Plug happens to pull back tomorrow and it pays a visit to the $30, which is a previous area of support that already acted as such for Plug in 1, 2, and 3 occasions before, but it also acted as a resistance for this stock back on December 9th. So that is going to be a spot in which I am going to be more than willing to pick up 100 or 150 shares of Plug Power. If so, if I happen to start this trade on Plug, my price target is going to be the resistance that I just told you about at around $35. So if I happen to be able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, I could be potentially locking in a profit of 17%, a very nice profit. So let's see what happens with Plug Power. They reported decent earnings, okay, and the reaction of the markets was actually positive. But I think that with the RSI being so elevated, we should see some sort of pullback in the case of Plug, and I am going to be waiting for Plug Power at around $30. And with Plug Power, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting these stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays right after the market closes. So if you want to get the notification notifications, all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner. You have to be subscribed to the channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Sorry. Follow us on Instagram, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. On our Instagram account, we are posting news and information on a daily basis, but most importantly, I am making call outs. Guys, I posted this morning a story on our Instagram account calling out Bitcoin at $29,000. So I am also using our Instagram account in order to make call out. So if you also want to have access to that information in a timely manner, go ahead and follow us on Instagram as well at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember, guys, that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well. So you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again as soon as the market closes. Peace out and keep on crushing the markets.